Everyone, welcome to the show. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested. Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
45-year-old Marine Corps veteran and Illinois resident Jeremiah Carollo, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He was seen in photos and on video inside the Capitol with his brother Anthony and also with his cousin Cody Volin. In an FBI interview on November 1st, Carollo admitted to entering the Capitol with his family members through a broken window. And initially, prosecutors believed that, as with his brother and his cousin, he just trespassed, he just walked around inside the building and then left. And his family members were given each only 12 months of probation for their actions on January 6th. So those two have already been sentenced. But video evidence came up which showed that Carollo was near the front of a large mob that physically broke through a police line on the Capitol steps on two different occasions. Carollo was also seen on video pushing on the back of someone. He placed his hands on the back of people in front of him. And so he was helping to push those people into the officers. And this was while the mob was yelling, "Push." And just prior to this, Carollo was seen and heard on video. He was watching all of this attack as it was unfolding. And he said to his brother and his cousin, quote, "Let's totally do it." And then the prosecutor also said that when his brother and his cousin were reluctant to enter the Capitol, Carollo actually coaxed them into going inside. And Carollo stood by, and they say that he watched as others were vandalizing the office suite of Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So Carollo was arrested on January 18th of this year. He was only charged with entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. Carollo pleaded guilty in April to the parading charge, so he was looking at up to 6 months in jail, 5 years of probation, and $5,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor asked for only 45 days behind bars, 3 years of probation, 60 hours of community service, and $500 in restitution. And they gave Carollo a lot of credit because apparently he pleaded guilty almost immediately after his arrest. I mean, that's why you see he was just arrested this year. He's already been sentenced. Most of these people, it's been taking like a year. They also said, he was truthful with the FBI. He, unlike many others, he didn't lie. The prosecutor also noted that Carollo lost his job due to his arrest. He's also now taken a substantial pay cut. He's earning about half of what he used to. They also cited his multiple deployments while he was in the Marines and the many medals that he was awarded and his honorable discharge. So at the sentencing hearing, Carollo told the judge, quote, "I have no excuse for the actions I took that day. I do regret getting my cousin and brother involved. I'm embarrassed and ashamed for being a part of something that has caused more division among Americans and sent a very negative image to the rest of the world when America is not supposed to be like on January 6th. U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta presided over his case, and he told Carollo that January 6 attendees, quote, "had that courage because there was a mob of people. They don't have that courage, and they are not that brave if they are standing there alone." And then the judge also stated, quote, "There needs to be an understanding that people cannot behave this way when an election is lost and you disagree." In the end, Judge Mehta sentenced Carollo to only 21 days in jail, 12 months of probation, 60 hours of community service, and the $500 restitution fee. Surprisingly, and you guys are not going to hear me say this very often, I'm actually okay with this one. I mean, although it would have looked much better if he turned himself in first before the FBI came looking for him, at least he was honest and he didn't waste the court's time. He didn't drag this out with a bunch of hearings and a bunch of BS like so many of them do. So I think Carollo was someone who had his patriotism and his oath used against him by Trump and his allies. That's the way it hits me. He did serve our country. For that, I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. He's definitely living the consequences of his actions, took a 50% income cut while Trump is still walking around. He's a free man. He's raking in tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, all based on his lies. That has to sting, and I hope that it wakes this guy up. So anyway, guys, when and if I hear more, I'll let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.